In the city of Portland, between blooming trees, sits a vintage house. A place that marks a milestone in my life. The first house I've lived in post-graduation. Not everywhere I've lived has felt like a home. Knowing that I won't need to move for more than a year has made a huge change to my life. Owning my first piece of furniture. Building my first workshop. Making lifelong friends and memories. But not all changes have been made yet. Nestled away in the corner of my kitchen, situated next to the fridge, sits my bedroom. A place I'm not too proud of. The way I look at it, our bedrooms reflect who we are. Messy rooms mirror cluttered minds. The gloom of winter sapped my motivation to stay organized. I was a mess just like my room. My environment getting worse every day. Till one day, it had more power over my mood than I did. What a scary thought. My environment controlling me. But maybe it didn't need to be so scary. Maybe my environment could influence me in a positive way. With the arrival of spring, I thought, it's time to make a change for the better. Create a place that energizes me, that I'm happy to live in. Like all good projects, this one started with cleaning. As my dad says, a clean space allows for a clear mind. Besides the results, I find cleaning can often be cathartic, giving me time to reflect. Why had this disaster shown up, and why hadn't I dealt with it sooner? I asked myself. Deep down, I found the answer. I never choose to clean when I have more interesting things to do, especially when I've been feeling sad and unmotivated. Searching within myself and knowing how my room got so dirty felt good. I knew it was the first step to fixing the situation I was in. While I organized my desk, I contemplated why it was there. Why is any of the stuff I have in my room? Tables brought in to hold trinkets that I never looked at. My new beginning called for a radical change. This desk would need to make space for new ideas. If my room was going to be my sanctuary, it needed to feel like me. That's easier said than done. It has taken me a long time to discover who I am, and I'm still in a constant process of learning. One thing I know for sure is that no matter how much I've changed, no matter how much I've grown, my values have stayed the same. My love for people, my pride for heritage, my need for reflection. These are things that had to be incorporated into my bedroom. A place for friends, a place that felt like childhood, a place for me to think without distraction. Sure, that's all good, I hear you saying, but what does that mean when applied to a bedroom? To understand that, you'll need to understand me. When I was 6, we moved in with my grandpa for a year. He was living in Japan at the time, which might sound like a weird place to be staying till I tell you that my grandma was Japanese. Unfortunately, she had recently passed away, leaving my grandpa living abroad alone, taking care of a house that was too big for just him. Moving to Japan was a life-altering experience. I left all my friends in America, couldn't communicate with the kids at school, and didn't want to learn a second language. Despite all the growing pains, I ended up cherishing my time in Japan. I gained an appreciation for a heritage I never knew I had. And, importantly, I got to spend time with my grandpa. Maybe I look back at Japan with rose-tinted glasses. The pains of my childhood now so long ago that all I can remember are the good times. Afternoons spent in the hachijo, our room with 8 tatami mats. Sitting on the floor, playing Monopoly with my grandpa on a hot spring day. The sun shining through the soji, rice paper screens, bathing the room in soft light. The smell of rice mats wafting into my nose as I reach over to roll the dice. The hachijo has always been a versatile space. Somewhere to work, somewhere to sleep, somewhere to relax, somewhere to pack, somewhere to clean, somewhere to put things. It holds a lot of value to me, as more than just a room. I want to incorporate that value into my bedroom. Bring me back to when I was a kid. With my room finally clean and my head finally clear, it was time for the exciting part. I searched for the elements that would give my room that sense of nostalgia. Sitting in their home, downstairs collecting dust, my parents had the original screens from the Hachijo that they brought back to America after a renovation. Coincidentally, near them were 2 tatami mats being sold for a quarter of their original price. After a day of travel, screens and mats on hand, I took the ferry home. But I didn't feel the excitement I expected. Despite the success of my day, I could tell I was missing something important. With all my fantasizing about the past, I had neglected to consider what brings me joy every day. Spending time with the people around me. Filling my room with decoration would mean nothing if I didn't give the space a purpose. I hadn't realized it, but there was an aspect missing from my house that I never thought about before. A place for quality time with the people that matter to me. Living with roommates can make private moments between friends hard. Hangouts in the living room are often interrupted by an unexpected guest, forcing us to leave the house and search for a third place. My room would now be that third place, the tatami mats acting as the perfect spot to sit down and hang out. Now, I just needed a table, somewhere for me to share a drink with a friend. And what better way to finish decorating my room than designing and building my own table? Putting a part of me into a piece of furniture that would tie the whole place together. Working out of the shed in the back of my house, I embraced that this table would be imperfect. There's an ideology we have in Japan called wabi-sabi, which roughly describes accepting that we live in a natural world. That the flow of nature is never perfect, but we should live in harmony with that idea and love the imperfect. So I began this table with a beam of reclaimed cedar. The age adding so much color, texture, and detail that would ordinarily just be a plain piece of wood. Wanting the same natural element for the top of the table, I picked up a slab of European birch with a nice big knot in it. I'll warn you, what I'm about to do might trigger some of you, but embracing the beauty of nature, I highlighted the knot by turning it into a faux live edge. I sharpened my chisels, which I know will make my dad happy to see, and let the wood tell me where it wanted to go. Everything cut, the prep work was almost done. Some splinters brushed off the cedar, holes drilled to attach it all together. But, almost as if the energy I was putting into the table leaked into the rest of my video, the rest of my footage got corrupted, leaving this story a little wabi-sabi itself. You'll never see me glue the legs on, or add this unnecessary bow tie. But that's alright, because the things we can't control are just as important as the things we can, forcing me to be more creative, shifting my focus away from the table and back onto the room. There was still plenty of work to be done. After getting everything into place, screen now mounted on the window, I could tell that the space didn't feel right. One more big change was in order. I don't even know what to start with. For hopefully the last time, I moved everything around, carefully considering the feng shui of my room. My Solji screen preventing anyone from seeing too far in, I divided the room into 2 zones. On one side, work. My computer facing away from the window, allowing me to peep outside while I worked, tucked into the corner by my closet. On the other side, relaxation. Bed with feet facing the door, the hachijo nestled further in. The deeper you enter, the more comfortable you become. A soft light dangling low above the table, encouraging intimacy. And just like that, it was done. Finally, I had a place that felt like me, somewhere that in a way represented my soul. I could bask in my nostalgia while I shared a private moment with a friend. Now my bedroom was more than a room. It was a place that would support me and give me space to grow.